Neagley's most obvious Reacher Season 3 role would be a huge disappointment. Reacher Season 3 will adapt the novel Persuader, and Neagley's most obvious role in the story would also be a big disappointment. The formula of Lee Child's Reacher books involves the title character, played by Alan Ritchson in Amazon's adaptation, arriving in a new place, getting into trouble, punching/shooting his way out, and then moving on. This helped keep the series fresh, since the plot and cast of characters were always changing. Reacher's nomadic nature worked great for the books, but it's a tricky aspect to adapt for an ongoing TV show. Audiences were heartbroken to find out Roscoe, Willa Fitzgerald, wouldn't be returning for Reacher Season 2, since she was such a great character. The showrunners have tried to make Ritchson's hero a little more sociable, which includes making his old army buddy Neagley, Maria Sten, a major supporting character. Neagley appeared in the first two series and is set to return once more for the upcoming Reacher Season 3, though how the show will use the character is another question. Flashbacks to Reacher's 110th Days is Neagley's most obvious Season 3 role. The next season will cover Lee Child's 7th novel, Persuader, which sees Reacher being recruited by the D for an undercover operation. His true objective is to find a man named Quinn, who a decade prior was responsible for the torture and murder of Reacher's colleague, Dominique Cole. The first two seasons of Reacher have included flashbacks as a narrative device, and Season 3 is certain to include Reacher's memories of Cole leading up to her vicious murder. If the writers were looking for an organic way to include Neagley in Reacher Season 3, flashbacks to the titular character's army days would be the obvious move. What happened to Cole still haunts Reacher in the books, so the TV version will need to spend time developing her as an important figure in his life. Neagley and other characters from the 110th Special Investigators could be seen during flashbacks as part of Cole's investigation into Quinn during Season 3. In that case, Neagley appearing in these scenes wouldn't be straying too far outside the narrative of Child's novel either. Neagley only appearing in Reacher Season 3 flashbacks would be a mistake. Reacher Season 2's ending saw Neagley make a plea to her old friend to stay in touch and not disappear from her life for years at a time again. This was a great way to set up her return in future series, and establish the TV show would be more interconnected than the books ever were. With this in mind, if Neagley's Reacher Season 3 role is limited to flashback sequences, this would be an enormous waste of the serial-loving private investigator. Sure, it would be nice to see her back even briefly, but if Reacher is seeking revenge for Cole's death, Neagley would want to be part of that. A large chunk of Persuader involves Reacher going undercover as a bodyguard inside a criminal organization, with his communications with the D being limited to text messages and the occasional meeting in person. Given how flexible past seasons have been when it comes to giving Neagley more to do, she could be one of Reacher's contacts on the outside. Perhaps he asks her to be his backup, since Neagley is one of the few people he trusts completely. He could also reach out to her for information on the people he's working for, a role that the D plays in Persuader. Neagley's part might be more limited than it was in the first two seasons, but her role needs to be more than a glorified cameo to make her inclusion worthwhile.